the NFL that I came in, and I know you played in the same area that I played in. We were going to games, and if a team was bad against the run, damn it, we were going to run the ball down the throat, and we only threw it to keep them honest. Like, I don't understand with the, what do they call it, the analytics and all the other stuff with the game now where it tells you if a team is bad against the run, and they have two bad safeties back. If they got two guys in the secondary that are hurt, the best thing to do is throw the football even more. Run the ball, man. How many games have we been in the 4 games that we've played in where we started off throwing the ball and that doesn't pay us any dividends, and then we go right back to what we should have did in the beginning of the game and run the football, and Saquon Barkley puts us in a better spot. It's ridiculous. I don't understand that. Somebody explain that to me.
I agree, but
like a 2-year-old. Like I'm a 2-year-old.
The money is in the passing game. They spend the most money in their passing game. So I think that's part of the reason they do it. And just organizationally, they believe in it. I disagree. I would run it today, but that's just organizationally what they believe in.
I think anything less than 20 carries and 25 touches isn't enough today. I don't think it's every week that you want to run it that much, but against this team, they're ready to give up. The Browns are ready to come out here.
They're ready to pack it in.
They're ready to
make them pack it in. Help them pack.
And I think the running game is what can really do that. But they're gonna throw it a lot too. That's just in their DNA.
I mean, listen, you got Saquon there. He's coming off a week's rest. He certainly will be fresh. I don't know if the game plan should be heavy pass. They're going to throw the ball, obviously, at times. But to me, I don't know why you wouldn't run behind that offensive line, Saquon. The idea of trying to protect against Jim Schwartz and some of his blitz schemes, I don't know. The quarterback, has he gotten over his turnover issue? Well, I tell you what, if you throw the ball 35-plus times,
you're putting it in harm's way.
way. You're asking for it. So, and to me, the only way the Browns beat you is if you turn the ball over.
If you give them the opportunity to.
That's the only way the Browns beat you
for what
today.
it's worth, if you run it, you're taking Myles Garrett out of the game to an
Yes.
extent. I mean, he's their best player by far.
Don't understand. The dude got, 5 sacks in 4 games or something like that?
And he's hurt.
Really? He's hurt and he still got –
He's a beast. I mean, he's probably the best defensive player in the
league. Him or either TJ Watt, one of those two.
And I will say 2 years ago, since we brought up training camp, Jordan Mailata was against Myles Garrett in Cleveland in training camp, and Myles Garrett got the best of him snap after snap. So that is a tough matchup today.
The other thing to watch, regardless of if they run or pass, guys, they need to score in the first quarter. They're the only team in the
NFL.
Take the
points, Doug. I was
going
to say take the points, Doug.
You know who scored their last first quarter touchdown? Julio Jones.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, we don't need to prove how good we are by going for it on 4th down from the 30-yard line.
Score
30. Just kick the points. If it's 4th and 4, take the points, man.
Well, sometimes it's the mental game. Like the Browns, if they're down again, they just might feel like, hey, we suck. Like we just can't. It's not our year.
Or it works the other way against the Eagles. Like, oh man, here we go again. We didn't get any points out of this drive.
And you know how this goes. Like when you got a team that's ready to give up, put them to bed early.
Yeah.
Would you take the ball if you win the coin toss?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake they've been making, but especially today.
We never take the ball from them.
They won't.
We have this conversation all the time. They never
Nobody does.
You shouldn't need an extra possession in the second half against Cleveland. Take the ball today, go down. The stadium's going to be crazy. Haven't been home in 3 weeks. Take the ball, score, and make the Browns feel like this is over.
All right, one more player to watch today is on the other side of the ball. It sounds like, Ruben, we're about to see Cooper DeJean get some real playing time for the first time, which I can't wait for. One, I was excited when they drafted him out of Iowa. And two, Avonte Maddox at this stage is just not a very good player. It feels like they have to make that transition post-bye. Do you expect we see more Cooper today?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. Avonte struggled, and it's been tough to watch him because he was such a good slot for so many years. I think all the injuries have kind of had a cumulative effect on him. He's just not the player he used to be. But Cooper is, he should be ready. He missed some time in training camp, about 3 weeks, but he's had time to catch up. He's a physical guy. He's a smart kid. He knows the defense. I think the slot's the perfect place for him, and I think today's the day to start.
Ike, what do you expect out of Cooper DeJean, assuming he's going to get a lot of playing time today?
I expect his ass to be getting a lot of attempts and pass breakups. That's what I expect.
Make some plays.
Yeah.
He gonna.
Well, listen, if he's out there, that's who I would throw at.
Yeah, they're going at
that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah, so.
Or you're going to have a rough day. You're going to be spun like a top.
But I tell you what, it doesn't even matter, quite frankly. It's his first game. He needs to break the seal. He needs to get out there and play. He's part of our future. I just want to see him play. I want to see him out there on the field. Listen, just like LaQuinion, he's had to take his lumps here and there. But I'd rather have that, and you learn on the job. Cooper DeJean is a big part of our future. Put him out on the field. If he goes through some rough patches, so be it. So be it.
To Ike's point, they being in the slot, they moved Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper into the slot quite a bit. So I do think you'll see them do that early, and they will definitely go after Cooper DeJean to start the game.
That's fine, but I think he also could make a play that Devontae hasn't.
And he's a short tackler.
Yes. And at Iowa, he blitzed sometimes off the edge. Like I would do that too. They just need someone, Hugh, to make a play on defense. Defense this season has almost been just a matter of let's hope the other team doesn't score rather than we're going to make a play.
We got 2 turnovers.
They have 2 turnovers, 2 reblankenship picks, and 6 sacks. 8 impact plays on defense. Nobody in the league is close to that number. I mean, just don't make plays on defense. And getting Cooper in there, I don't know if it's going to have a huge impact, but it can't hurt.
No. We need Jalen Carter to show up today, man.
No, we need Bryce Huff to show up today.
Good luck.
I know how you feel about Bryce Huff. I believe
I'm just saying
we can get it done.
We pretty much.
Y'all just close the door. Close the door.
The Browns are giving up over 5 sacks a game this season.
Man, he getting 2 today.
I'm going with BG again.
Wait a minute. Show me how to do that betting thing that you be doing on your app, man.
You betting 2 sacks on Bryce Huff?
No, don't do it, bro.
Don't get rid of money like that.
$2.
I will say, Eliot, today feels like a day for the pass rush. You mentioned the numbers there. Today feels like their day. Watson can't move much anymore, and the Browns' offensive line isn't as good as it was, in the last few years.
And they're missing their starting center today. Yep. So the middle of that line is wide open. This is where Jalen Carter has to be the best player on defense. We saw him do it against the Saints, and what happened? The rest of the defense followed. Against Tampa, they were all a no-show, and they gave up 28 points in the first half or whatever it was. So against a bad offensive line with a quarterback that holds onto the ball, missing their center, like Jalen Carter, this is why you were a top 10 pick. Go out there and make an impact play to help the team.
You know how hard it is? Now, Deshaun Watson hasn't thrown for more than 200 yards all year.
That's crazy.
But he's been sacked 26 times.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to get sacked that many times when you're not throwing the ball?
Just wait for today. Yeah.
He gets sacked on like 20% of his dropbacks. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he looks washed. I mean, it's amazing a player that was as good as he was 4 years ago. And obviously, he's been missed a lot of time, but he looks totally washed. Today's a day for the Eagles pass rush to get home and to make some plays. All right, coming up on the other side, we will look at this division, which may be a lot different than we thought it was when this season began. It may be more difficult, and the road for the Eagles to win the NFC East is changing week to week. That is coming up. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. On 94 WIP.
I'm Mark Lynch, business manager of IBEW Local Union 98. We are proud to connect with the best NECA Pendle Jersey chapter. Together, NECA and Local 98 do the work that powers our great city. Local 98's 5,500 highly trained members approach every job with integrity and excellence. Our clients can count on superior craftsmanship completed utilizing the latest methods, and we're always ensuring safety on the job. If you want the best for your next project, use the top-notch professionals of IBEW Local Union 98.
Psst, hey you, stop nibbling on your schnitzel and get to Jacktoberfest at Del Chevrolet. 31 days of unprecedented savings. Over 300 vehicles to choose from, all with big Del discounts and incentives. Only at Del Chevrolet. Stick the cash right back into your lederhosen with low APR financing and no money down available every day at Del Chevrolet. Located on Route 30 in Paoli. Online at DelChevrolet.com. If you're worried you're going to pay too much for your next car, you don't know Jack. Say habla español.
Jack, sell them for less. If there's one thing I learned from playing is that a winning team is built on a solid foundation. The same goes for your home. That's why you need Groundworks on your roster. Philadelphia's experts in basement waterproofing, foundation, and crawl space repair. Their team of dedicated professionals is here to tackle any challenge. Whether you have water in your basement, sagging floors, or smells coming from your crawl space, Groundworks is here to protect your home for game day and beyond. Book your free inspection today at Groundworks.com.
Hi, this is Howard Eskin to talk about Jack Daniels, tailgating, and the birds. It doesn't get any better, so stop by your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirit store and get game day ready with the original Jack Daniels Tennessee whiskey, along with Jack Daniels Fire, Honey, and Apple, or grab a case of Jack and Coke or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar, now ready to drink in a can. Also available at select grocers. Jack Daniels, born for the tailgate, and please drink responsibly.
Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV, Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and all the registered trademarks of Jack Daniels Properties Inc. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the
Coca-Cola Company.
Hey, Birds fans. My name is Jim Snell, business manager for Steamfitters Local Union 420, a proud 121-year-old labor organization. We have been providing the emerging life science industry with the safest, most highly skilled steamfitters, welders, and HVAC service technicians. Our members have been trained in all aspects of the life science industry so that our orbital welding and clean room procedures exceed the industry standard. Contact Steamfitters Local Union 420 for all your life science needs and visit our website at lu420.com. Go Birds!
Looking to get your relationship into the end zone this season? Then you need to run over to see Paul Cozy at Cozy Jewelers in Newtown Square. Paul is the guy for custom engagement rings, custom pieces, and wedding bands in the Delaware Valley. If you're looking to get engaged, Cozy Jewelers has the play call for you. Win big this season by stepping up to the 5th seed. That's color, cut, clarity, carat, and cozy. Family owned and operated. Go to Cozy Jewelers in Newtown Square or at cozyjewelers.com. That's cozyjewelers.com.
Hey, this is Mike Quick. If you're in the restaurant, hospitality, or casino business and your point of sale system isn't helping you sell more, earn more, or work less, you need to talk to my friends at PDQ Signature Systems. PDQ has everything you need for success. PDQ POS is the fastest, easiest, and most reliable POS system available. Whether you have a single location restaurant or thousands of locations, Joe Flynn and his team will create a custom game plan that will help your business succeed. Visit pdqpos.com.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Offs, excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon as we get set for the Eagles and the Browns coming up here, 1 o'clock. Not many of these 1 o'clock home games this year, so I expect the crowd today to be revved up. And obviously, it's a huge game for the Eagles, 2-2, coming off a bye. They need the win. And as we look around the division here and the state of the race in the NFC,
the state of the race.
That's nice.
Look at that.
Well, wasn't expecting that.
We know the state of the race is coming up this segment. And look, guys, the NFC East, when the year started, I think we all said, all right, the Eagles, we'll see what we get with them. But the division doesn't look very good, right? Cowboys, we all thought would be a little bit down from last year, and they are. What has changed here, Ike, is the other two teams just look more competent than they have in a long time. Washington looks downright good. They're averaging 30 points a game. And the Giants, who the Eagles will see next week, they went to Seattle and won last week. It just feels to me like this division is no longer just two teams, and the bottom is better than it has been for the last couple of years.
Yeah. It really hasn't. It just shows you how quarterback play can affect a team and change a franchise's fortune. I thought Washington would be respectable. I thought they would be a sort of 9-8 team this year, potentially compete for a wild card spot, but I didn't expect them to get off to the start that they've gotten off to. And Jaden Daniels, obviously playing great football, was a clear-cut favorite for Rookie of the Year, but now we see Caleb Williams is starting to show why he was the number 1 overall pick. He looks good today, but staying in our division, and Daniel Jones isn't playing like special football, but he isn't playing terrible football. And listen, they've been without Malik Neighbors for 2 weeks now, and they went up to Seattle and won last week. That was a good win for them on the road. It looks like Brian Dable at least has the team competing. So to your point, they aren't easy wins. These aren't, I had the Eagles going 5-1 in the division.
Yeah,
right.
And
I
figured
they would split with Dallas, right, but they would sweep Washington and the Giants.
Many years the division was like that.
Yeah.
Eliot, it's changed. Here's what's on the menu, sponsored by Hatfield. Put pork on your fork. Visit simplyhatfield.com for game day recipe inspiration. Eliot, what's your perspective on the division right now? Because coming into the year, I thought 9-8 could win it. I mean, Washington is 4-1. I'm not sure if they're going to get to 12 wins, but they certainly look like a team that's going to get to 10 wins.
Well, and the tough thing on that, too, is they have one of the easiest, if not the easiest schedule in the NFL. They have the Ravens today, tough game for sure. But then after that, they have the Panthers, the Bears, the Giants, and the Steelers before they play the Eagles. So even if they're not a great team, and I think they're a very good team, it's going to be tough to sustain. We saw in 2016, Carson started 3-1. It's just hard when you're a rookie quarterback to keep that up. But their schedule is so easy that they might not be a great team, but they could rack up 10, 11 wins, and that's why today is so important. The Eagles have to try to keep pace with them, and it's a winnable game today.
Yeah, if you had told me the Cowboys would have looked average, Hugh, I would have felt great about the Eagles' chances to win the NFCs. The Cowboys do look average, but this Commanders thing, and Hugh, I think you picked the Commanders to win this game today in Baltimore. This Commanders thing is getting to a point where it's hard to ignore. They're averaging 30 points a game.
Yeah, and it all depends on – it's all about the quarterback, man. I pointed out this morning that this is the same squad for the most part that when Eric Bieniemy came in, a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator, they told on him. They told everybody that he was out there doing some nefarious things and got him out of there. They went out and got a young leader, and they look totally different. They've bought into everything that he's doing. Had a chance to talk to Doug Williams earlier in the week, and he was telling me he was just gushing over how impressive this young man is and how much a leader he is. You need a leader at that position. And unfortunately for us, and you called it, Joe, look like the Commodores, they got their leader. They got their Lionel Richie.
Well, and the other part of this, too, is, and it's too early to say if Kellen Moore was not the right hire. But you look in Washington, they have Cliff Kingsbury, who the Eagles interviewed, and they have Brian Johnson, who the Eagles fired. So you still have to sustain it for a full year. I do think Kellen Moore was a smart hire, but it's noteworthy the two guys up there, two guys the Eagles could have had.
Well, and adding to this, and why I think looking at what's going on in the division is so important, because the path to the playoffs, obviously we want to win the division. But, and we've seen in other years, Eagles have gotten a wild card, Cowboys win the division. I'm not sure that's going to happen this year. The NFC East might send one. Right now, the NFC North has the 5-0 Vikings, the 3-1 Lions, the 3-2 Packers, and the Bears are about to go to 4-2. I'm not sure if the NFC East is going to send two teams to the playoffs. So it's like the only path in might be winning the division this year.
Yeah. The NFC all of a sudden has become a good conference, right? That's how quick this thing has flipped, and that's what quarterback play does. Look at the quarterback play that they're getting out there in the NFC North. Jared Goff, Justin Love, Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold now with the Minnesota Vikings. So it makes those teams formidable teams. Hell, even look at the NFC West. You know, the Rams aren't completely gone away yet. The Cardinals look respectable, right? And you got the 49ers out there, and Seattle's respectable. So you're right. This may be a division, even though I don't think it's like a subpar division. You may need 10 or 11 wins, 11 wins just to get a wild card spot. Or like you said, your only path in may be to win the NFC East.
So, Eliot, you mentioned earlier the schedule leading up to the Cowboys and the Commanders, right? That's the beginning of the November schedule. Yeah. That's why the next month, starting today, will really define the Eagles' season. If they go 3-1 into Dallas and Washington, I think they're going to be okay. If they go 2-2, that becomes really complicated.
Well, if you remember in 2022, they went to Indianapolis and they barely beat the Colts, right? And it was some panic. They're not playing well. I think they didn't play great against the Texans, if I remember correctly. And we were all talking up here before that Titans game. You got to prove it. This is the start of the schedule. Go show you're a great team. What did the 2022 team do? They went out and they smacked the Titans around, and then they went the next week to New York and played a bad Giants team and made them look like a bad team. So I agree with you, Joe. Like, there are points in the season where momentum has to shift. We saw it in 2017. They barely beat the Giants in week 3. They win that game on the 61-yard field goal, and they take off. This has to be the start of that for this team because the schedule is there to do it, and they have to play better. Like, it's not just about winning anymore. We saw the best teams in Eagles history, the ones that went to the Super Bowl. They made bad teams look bad. This team hasn't done that for a really long time. So they got to stack up wins, but they also need to use this to get momentum going.
They do, and today is the day to do that. I mean, like you can't draw up a better opponent for the Eagles just in terms of where where that team is, right? Cleveland, third straight road game, and it looks like a team teetering on the edge. We had a guest on a Countdown to Kickoff covers team said they could bench Watson after this game if it goes bad. I mean, that's what they're thinking up there in Cleveland. They have to take, like, once in a while the schedule gives you a win. You got to go take advantage of this.
Yeah, I mean, it has less to do with Cleveland, more about the Eagles and where they are. Can you get this offense sort of in sync? and start playing like a unit, right, that plays complementary football. You run the ball well, you throw the ball well, and more importantly, you don't turn the ball over. You convert on third down. You score touchdowns in the red zone versus kicking field goals. Can we get this football team playing to that level? We saw a little bit of it versus the Packers in the first game of the season, but we haven't seen it since. And my guess is that a lot of it has to do with number 11 being in the lineup. He just brings a different dimension, and he poses a different problem for a defense. You have to know where he's at all time, and you're going to rotate coverage to him. That makes everyone else's job a lot easier. Having A.J. Brown back today is huge for this team.
Yeah, he's a difference maker. On the other side, Dave Spinner will join us. We'll talk about the inactives, Cooper DeJean, how much he'll play today, and a roster decision the Eagles made earlier this week. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Who's the man in a white plumbing van?
Roto-Rooter Man.
Who's the dude who clears your drain of food?
Roto-Rooter Man.
Who's the guy to keep your basement dry?
He's the Roto-Rooter Man.
Who's your friend for a pipe on the man?
Roto-Rooter Man.
If plumbing, drain, or water cleanup are the plan, better call your Roto-Rooter man. Roto-Rooter, we put water where it should be.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Birds fans, I'm bringing you the Tailgate Essential for game day. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. They're absolutely delicious and available in the convenient variety pack. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part, no bubbles, no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation. So you can tailgate like a champ. Surfside iced tea and vodka, the official cocktail of Philly sports. Ask for it at your local bars and liquor store. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
The working families of La Una Labor District Council of Pennsylvania, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia are proud contributors to all aspects of growth in this great city. The Labor District Council provides safe, well-trained, productive workers who enable projects to be done on time and under budget. We appreciate our signatory contractors and their commitment to fairness and equality. Laborers, we're building a better future today.
Brought to you by the Laborers District Council Licit Fund.
Hey, show the camera. Do you need a pumpkin spice oil change? No, I didn't think so. What you need is the best prices on name brand tires. Right now, United Tire is doubling every manufacturer's rebate. So if tires have a manufacturer $100 rebate, you are saving $200. So why would you take your car anywhere else? Double the savings all month long. Find the location nearest you by going to UnitedTire.com. That's UnitedTire.com. Don't drive alone. Drive United.
Gonna dig a hole in your backyard? Call 811. Don't be caught off guard, because PA1 Calls got your back to help locate those utilities stacked.
Play it safe and do your part so no one in the neighborhood's house goes dark.
But if you don't, and there's an outage, you might have to deal with some screams and shoutage, because ain't nothing worse when your toilet won't flush, your lights go out,
or when your pipes bust.
Yeah, your neighbors are gonna love you. Know what's below? Call 811 before you dig. Help us hit 50 and 5. More at PA1call.org.
There's nothing quite like the Honda Civic Hybrid, Accord Hybrid, and CR-V Hybrid when it comes to exhilarating efficiency. With hybrid technology and thrilling capability, these vehicles deliver an electrifying performance on every drive. But what truly makes these hybrids special is the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. Redefine your driving experience with Honda, KBB.com's best value brand of 2024.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelly Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
There's a chill in the air. You flip on the heat, and nothing. And why does it always happen right after you've finally gotten cozy? For as little as $13 a month, Oliver will keep your home's heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical systems in check year-round. And guess what? Membership also comes with yearly inspections, exclusive discounts on repairs and replacements, plus priority emergency service.
Call Oliver for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
This football season, get in the game at Acme. Buy participating products and receive touchdown tokens to redeem for entries into the Swoop In and Win sweepstakes. You could win 2025 Eagles season tickets or autographed Eagles merch and more. Acme, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles.
There are lessons to be learned every day. And every day is an opportunity to find our purpose.
It begins with a game plan, not just thinking about short-term wins, but long-term goals. We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. Because when the lights are on, that's when preparation meets opportunity. Build your tomorrow at LincolnFinancial.com.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
This week at Acme, don't miss the football items of the week. Oscar Mayer beef hot dogs for $4.99 each, or Maxwell House coffee for $6.99 each when you buy two. Stop in and discover why football is better at Acme, your tailgating headquarters.
This is the Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back. It is the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. As we get set for the Eagles and the Browns at 1 o'clock here at Lincoln Financial Field. Dave Spadera joins us right now. Inactives are out.
Working, dog. We get you in a minute. I got you.
Tanner McKee, Eli Ricks, Nick Gates, Darian Kennard, Trevor Keegan, Byron Young. Dave, welcome to the show here as we get set. And earlier when you were with us at Countdown to Kickoff, we talked about Cooper DeJean and an increased role today. What are you thinking there? How much do you think he's going to play?
A lot. I think he's going to be the guy at nickel. And I think that at the very least we will see a taste of how you put a rookie into a lineup after just one preseason game and very limited training camp time. But I think we all agree, extremely athletic, very promising guy. And I just don't want to undersell how good the Browns are at wide receiver. If we had a better sense of their quarterback and thinking back to what Joe Flacco did, those wide receivers were outstanding. And I think it's a really tough assignment for Cooper DeJean or whoever's playing nickel. But I do think that Cooper will play a lot, if not, all of the snaps at the nickel spot.
Cooper, our power player of the game, sponsored by IBEW Local Union 98 in partnership with Nika Pendelgers. They're proud to power progress in Philadelphia. So we know more Cooper today, but we know zero Devin White today, Eliot, as the Eagles made the move during the week to release Devin White. Eliot, what do you make of the whole Devin White thing? Because
Eliot.
It was expected to be.
It
was expected to be a big part of this thing when they signed him, and not only not a part of it, never played. I mean, it's one of the craziest signings and then out mid-season I can remember.
Yeah, it was a major miss by the team. They gave him $3.5 million. They recruited him early on in free agency. He took all the first-team reps with the team in the offseason.
All the first-team reps.
And then he didn't play. So, look, I think Devin not playing special teams is obviously a big part of why he's not here, and he should have played special teams. I understand that. But I don't think Nakobe or Zach Bond have been good enough where you can sit here and say they don't need Devin White. The backups now are very inexperienced.
Oren Burks is not inexperienced.
Oren Burks has never been a full-time starter, has he?
He started last year.
Jeremiah Trotter Jr., who had a great camp, has never played in the NFL. So, I understand if he's not going to be here and not play special teams, you release him. I get it. But I don't think poorly of Devin White. I think this is a mistake by the front office.
But they didn't release him because he didn't play special teams. They released him because he couldn't earn time with the defense. And whether or not you're not paying $3.5 million to a guy who's playing 7 snaps on special teams.
Right, but it's their evaluation that he can't play is the point I'm making. Like, we will see if that's correct, right? He was bad at the back half of last year, but he's accomplished more in the NFL linebacker than all these linebackers they have combined. So I would have liked to see him get a chance out there, especially when they can't get any pressure on the quarterback, and he's a great blitzing
the
linebacker.
wise adage in the NFL is you don't pay somebody for past production. You pay for what they're going to do in the future.
Well, that's what Howie did.
So it was, as you said, it was a miss by the Eagles. There's no question about it. That's about it. It's not special teams. It was a signing the Eagles made, and the player didn't work out.
Well, he didn't, and now he's gone. I think, and
he's been signed by whom exactly? He didn't clear waivers, right? Okay,
Nobody's still going through his options, I think.
Do we think Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is ready? Because one injury now,
I think
he's
Oren
up.
Burks is ready.
Oren Burks.
I mean, if you ask me between those two, I obviously would rather see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. out there playing. I would say this. When you go through a game where you miss 18 tackles, I don't know how you can toot your horn about anybody out there on defense.
I don't think anybody's tooting anybody horn.
Well, I'm just saying, you miss 18 tackles in a game,
agree.
and a lot of that came from our second-level players.
Sure did.
So you just hope that they're able to shore things up moving forward. Because, listen, I want to see Nakobe continue to grow as a linebacker. I love what Zach Bond has done thus far this year. But there is some concern if one of these guys go down, the next person coming in. I guess, listen, Oren Burks has experience. I haven't seen him play, so I don't know what he could do. But there's not a lot behind the starters, and that's where Devin White could have provided.
I think we're getting lost here. Devin White is a great name, but Devin White clearly, as far as the Eagles evaluated, is not good enough to be on the roster.
Right,
now
that's
we'll see.
their evaluation,
sure,
right?
And we will see how it plays out. But there is no question. I believe that Nakobe Dean will be challenged for playing time.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I do believe that when you miss 18 tackles, you better come back the next week with a totally different level of energy, urgency, attitude, because that is not acceptable in any way. And that is Vic Fangio too. An approach to the game plan. I don't think anybody wants to see the receivers laying off and giving Deshaun Watson easy completions today.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
that's a big
get up
part.
and challenge these guys.
Challenge.
I was gonna say that's a big part of it too, because if the Browns watch that tape against Tampa, they will come out and play the quick game today. Now he holds onto the ball a lot, so it might not be his strength. But yeah, to your point, Dave, this is on Fangio and the corners that if they're getting rid of it quick, they have to get up at the line of scrimmage.
Dave, quickly offensively, AJ back, Devontae back, but the Browns are a little better against the pass than the run. What kind of offensive game plan are you guessing on today?
I mean, I'm guessing on an offense that's to score something early in the game.
Well, that'd be nice.
The first drive to me is so critical from the energy level of the stadium and the fans and the expectations that the fans have. But I still think you get the ball out to your best players, and those best players are AJ, Dallas, Devontae, and then Saquon Barkley for sure. But I think the Eagles are going to come out throwing the football.
All right, coming up on the other side, Eagles legend Fred Hill will join us. We'll get you set for the game. Howard in a little bit. You guys with us on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Hey, it's Rhea Hughes. Fall is upon us, and now is the perfect time to head over to Lexus of Cherry Hill for the L Certified Fall Collection sales event. It's much nicer than pumpkin spice. They have over 300 new and L Certified pre-owned Lexus to choose from. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. For every car sold during October, a donation will be made to Virtua's breast cancer patient and early detection programs. Stop in and see my friend Tony Labello and his team, or visit online at LexusofCherryHill.com. Lexus of Cherry Hill, family owned and operated.
The Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Local 1 of Pennsylvania and Delaware, founded in 1865, is the longest continuous union in North America. Founded right here in Philadelphia. Bricklayers, stonemasons, rubble masons looking for excellent and competitive wages, top-notch health care, safe working conditions, state-of-the-art training facilities, and premier retirement packages. Please apply within. Call the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers at 215-856-9505 or visit bac-1.org to apply today.
It's a long season, but one thing is sure. Birds football is sure to make your heart skip a beat. But that flutter you feel in your chest could also be something else, like AFib, atrial fibrillation, a serious heart condition that needs expert care from an all-pro team like Deborah Heart and Lung Center. One thing is certain, all season long, Team Green is sure to make your heart flutter, maybe even skip a beat now and then. Just remember, when it's your heart, you don't take chances. DemandDeborah.org. Go Birds.
Philadelphia, our city of neighborhoods, of hustle, of grit. We see its best days up ahead. If you do too, join us. Visit work.phila.gov. Choose a career with purpose, with meaning, with impact. So we can be an even better city. One Philly, a united city for all. Visit work.phila.gov.
The Birds are grinding down the defense and chipping away at the score. Modern Group is Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey's banded tree care equipment dealer with hand-fed and whole tree chippers, stump grinders, industrial grinders, and shredders in stock and ready to bring power and performance to your team. Score big with banded equipment backed by Modern's all-brand service and support. Visit moderngroup.com for all your equipment needs. Join a winning team. Modern is hiring technicians, signing bonus, great pay benefits, and employee-owned.
Benefits, HR, hiring, payroll, it's so complicated, but it doesn't have to be. Hi, I'm Joe Carfagno from Clear Employer Services. I work with small businesses to expertly handle all your HR needs. Do you feel like you're always interviewing new talent? At Clear Employer Services, we have the secret to retaining talent for you. Don't watch your good employees walk out the door. Talk with me directly about keeping your employees happy. Go to hruncomplicated.com so you can go back to running your business.
Preferred vendor of Independence Blue Cross. Visit hruncomplicated.com.
The following is a paid commercial message.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of healthcare insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead, and that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
Imagine taking a shower that never runs out of hot water. Well, here's some good news. Bradford White's Infinity Series GS and GR tankless water heaters deliver endless hot water whenever you need it. They're highly efficient too, saving you energy and money. Like all Bradford White water heaters, they're built to be the best for years of reliable performance. How you heat your water matters. Learn more about our Infinity Series tankless water heaters at bradfordwhite.com.
You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon as we get set for the Eagles and the Browns coming up at 1 o'clock. And joining us up here as we're live at the Linc is Eagles legend Fred Hill with us for a very, very special reason. Fred, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. This weather's like Southern California.
It does feel nice. It does not feel like October out here. Hopefully we get a great game. And Fred, you're here as a legend and here for a great cause. Fred, tell us why the Ronald McDonald House is so special to you and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, my daughter was 3 years old, and she used to come to training camp, and all the ball players loved her. And she came down with leukemia and was only given a few weeks to live. And they all rallied behind her, and we started the very first Ronald McDonald House in 1974.
Well, Fred, it's an incredible story, and now it played out all these years later that it's still such an amazing thing. And what's going on now to celebrate and honor all this, McDonald's is donating $1 for each Eagles bundle box purchase through the end of the season. The boxes feature you, Fred, and come one of 3 collectibles Eagles magnets. So it's pretty amazing all these years later, still the Ronald McDonald House still giving back and partners here with the Eagles.
Yeah, it's amazing, and we're really honored. I got my little wife here, Fran, that we've been together for 75 years. I don't look that old, but we were only 6 when we started. But anyway, the great fans, we really need the money. Now there's 390 Ronald McDonald Houses in 62 countries, and it all started right here in Philadelphia.
It's pretty remarkable. We're excited to be part of this, and Fred, to have you here with us. Fred, while you're hanging out and we get ready for this game, what are you thinking here? What do you think about this Eagles team? 2-2 after the bye. Home today against the Browns. Fred, you feeling good about where this is going? Give us your thoughts on this current Eagles team.
Well, I think we could have won a couple of those games. It's a little bit – I pull for 2 teams, the Philadelphia Eagles and USC. And unfortunately, we lost to Penn State last night. But the Eagles, they're going to turn it around, and we just got to get in the playoffs, and anything can happen. Well,
that is for sure. It can. And Fred, in your day at tight end, I mean, how about the weapons the Eagles have now? Now, especially healthy here with AJ and Devontae and Dallas Goedert. It's a pretty remarkable group of players around Jalen Hurts, including Saquon Barkley.
They got great receivers. And you know what's amazing? I was out on the field. When I played, we only had one person that weighed 300 pounds, and that was Bob Brown. He made the Hall of Fame. Nobody on offense and defense weighed that much. I couldn't believe how big they are and how fast, and they're so much better than they were back then. But you know what? We sacrificed a lot to help them out, with their contracts and stuff. So they're doing well. I started out at 12,000, and I talked to Harold Carmichael, and he started at 13. So big difference.
Yeah, it is. Well,
yeah, look at what they're making now.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, you help pave the way. Fred, we appreciate you being part of the show today and being here. And once again, to celebrate and honor the foundation. McDonald's is donating $1 for each Eagles bundle box purchase through the end of the season. The boxes feature Fred Hill and come with one of 3 collectible Eagles magnets. All right, Fred, I'm glad you're part of this segment here because right around this time every week, we bring up a fan or two from the crowd, and they join us every week for an Eagles chant into our into the next segment, Fred. So you can be part of this too. We could have an Eagles chant with everyone here, and Fred, you can be part of it too. Fred, have you ever done an Eagles chant with a microphone before?
No,
Okay.
I used to get real nervous as a kid talking in front of people.
Well, you're fine now. Look at you now. You're on the pregame show, Fred.
I'm getting better, but our rental house here started out as a 7-bedroom house, and now it's 128 bedrooms.
Wow.
That take care of all these parents with critically ill children at the hospital. So what a wonderful thing that they started right here in Philadelphia.
Well, that is special, and it's something that we all – I'm glad you're bringing more awareness to, and obviously being back here, and hopefully, Fred, watching a win today. Give us a prediction. Are we getting a win today with you in attendance?
Let's see. How about 28-14?
Oh, well, I think we'll all take that. A double-digit win, we will absolutely take that. We haven't seen one of those around here in a very, very long time. All right, joining us up on the stage as well as Fred Hill, a couple of our fans from out here in the crowd. We're going to do this every home game. We're picking someone out from the crowd in front of us to help lead us in an Eagles chant. We got Matt and Brian. How you guys doing today?
Good.
You ready?
Ready?
Are you? Well, is everyone ready?
Speaking to the mic.
Let's speaking to the mic.
You ready?
Give us an Eagles chant. Let's go, guys.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
There we go.
There
Good
we go.
stuff,
Good
Matt
job.
and Brian. We appreciate you. Fred, thank you so much for being with us here on the pregame show, and good luck with everything moving forward with the Ronald McDonald House. Thank you, Fred.
so much.
There's the great Harold Carmichael, Hall of Famer,
Legends
Hall of
everywhere.
Famer, Hall of Famer Harold Carmichael.
Hey, just one thing. When I played only 1 year with Harold Carmichael, he threw a football 100 yards.
Wow.
Oh,
that is
we
incredible.
don't believe
the
that.
Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
The bye week's behind them.
Bye week came at a good time for us.
And the Eagles are ready to fly high.
It's very important to start fast.
And return to the win column.
We're excited for what's to come. Be good to go out there and compete.
Today, they welcome the Cleveland Browns. Today's game is sponsored in part by PNC Bank, PDQ Restaurant Point of Sale Systems, Verizon, NovaCare Rehabilitation, your Delaware Valley Honda dealers, Deborah Heart and Lung Center, Acme, Piazza Auto Group, and IBEW Local Union 98. You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, Eliot Shorr-Parks, and joining us now, Howard Eskin, as he gets ready to be on the sideline for the call today. Howard, how are we doing today?
We're just absolutely sensational.
Look at the king. The king looks good down there, man.
Well, wait a minute.
Oh, look at that. Now you got a nice little suit on.
Pink bow tie going
Yeah,
on.
it looks
It's
good.
a cancer awareness game. It's just
That's nice.
The custom pink Oakleys, I see.
Yeah,
They don't do pink anymore, Howard.
it's mixed into the colors, but
Okay.
it really is. October is breast cancer.
No, I know it. It
awareness
seems
month.
like the NFL stopped celebrating it, right?
Well, because they wanted to do everything in
Okay.
one shot.
Okay.
But I still honor the origination of the pink
Yes.
for breast cancer awareness. So, that's what I do. Bow tie, pink.
Way to make it about you.
No, I'm just trying to.
Well, I think it was kind of us. We made it about you, Howard. We mentioned what you were wearing. Hopefully,
Hey, listen, because I dress well, and you guys are you guys.
what are you saying? I mean, I think this whole group looks darn good. Howard, hopefully the Eagles look good at 1 o'clock today
Yes.
or 1:05 when this thing kicks off. Howard, off the bye against a team coming on their third straight road game here. Are you expecting the best version of the Eagles we've seen so far this season today, Howard? Today's the
No.
day. Oh, come on.
The best version so far.
So far, yes, the best
Okay,
version.
So far, I thought you meant for the whole season.
No, I mean so far. Are they going to play their best football so far today?
Yeah, I think they will.
Okay, all right.
They
Now
have
we're
to.
getting.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, it's just offensively they've got to do something. defensively, they ought to murder this team. They're so bad. I mean, they're bad in every category, but you can't turn the ball over. Jalen Hurts has got to have confidence in making his throws, and he's got to have kind of a breakout game too. This has got to be a breakout game, but I don't know that I would lay the 8.5 to 10 points, whatever it is.
Well, none of us would.
They haven't beaten a team by more than a score in a year. It was last October against the Dolphins, Howard. It's been a long time.
I know. It's got to change. It's got to change, but they got to get turnovers and not give up turnovers, which is obvious. I mean, that'll be one of Merrill's keys, win the turnover battle. So we already know that's coming. But it's really a fact of life. You got to be +2 to have a good chance of winning. The fact that they've won a couple of games.
2 games, yeah.
I know, and they weren't. But I think they'll be better. Obviously, they've got players back. The thing that I know the Eagles are thinking about is 2 of the coaches on the Cleveland staff have been with the Eagles. And they know the Eagles.
So Jim Schwartz and who are you referring to?
Deuce. No, I'm not even talking about Deuce, but Deuce is one of the guys. They're who is it? Roy, the assistant offensive line coach.
Okay.
Worked with Stoutland for 8 years.
So there's a lot of intel they have on the way the Eagles do things.
Yeah.
How are you not thinking of Deuce? Deuce, so that Deuce makes 3.
Yeah, I don't know how much the other 2 guys can really affect the game, obviously, and the Eagles know that. So they've got to play, obviously, the best they played this year. It's unacceptable that they don't play well. Winning is obviously essential, but they've got to play well.
Well, do we expect the quarterback to play well? I mean, that's the whole thing, right? I mean, that's the biggest reason.
It really is the whole
why
thing.
They're up and down is the quarterback's up and down. Howard, 3 of the 4 games so far this year, Jalen hasn't been much better than the other quarterback, and in fact, he's probably been worse. He better be the better quarterback today by a lot.
Yeah, and I talked to before I come up here, I talked to some of the coaches, and they said he had a good week at practice, but I think they kind of say that every week.
Eliot said he had a good camp.
Well, no, he had a historical training camp.
Yeah, which did a lot. So he's turned the ball over every time since you put out those
saved them for the
stupid
regular
numbers.
season.
It doesn't change the fact he set the record. I don't know what to tell you. You guys can bring it up
It's
all
not
you
a
want.
record.
You can bring it up all you want. He still did it.
It's not a record.
It is a
because
record.
You don't know what happened before
Have you
that.
ever seen a quarterback go 154 passes without throwing an interception in training camp?
Yeah, Donovan.
No, you
McNabb
haven't.
in
No,
2
you
years.
haven't. No, you haven't.
Were you charting it, Howard? I don't know about that.
I mean, well, Eliot wasn't here for that, so he doesn't know.
It's my record.
Yeah, it's your record. That's exactly right. Good. Have fun with it.
If they lose today, is Nick on the hot seat?
No.
No.
Why not?
Because you can't. If you fire a coach in the middle of the season? All right, who you are? You bring one of the assistants in. Okay, so let's say people would say, "Well, it's Kellen Moore." Well, wait a minute. He's the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. How's that going to change?
Well, how's that going to change anything? The defense better tackle better, but I think Vic Fangio is a good defensive coordinator, but he's not going to be the head coach. So who do you bring in?
Well, we just watched the team do this with the same record. To Eliot's point, right? If they had lost today, they'd be 2-3. The Jets are 2-3. They just got rid of their coach.
The Jets suck.
Well, they're trying to change that. That's why, and they might suck anyway.
But they're not going anywhere, and they have a quarterback that may be done. He may be.
I think he is done.
Yeah. So there's a difference there. You can't compare the Eagles to the Jets.
Well, I'm just saying there's a precedent. There's already been a coach fired in the league.
Okay. So what? That makes it right.
So
he's not getting
It was a
fired.
fair question by Eliot.
He's not getting
So
fired.
I agree that Eagles are a better run team than the Jets. But sooner or later, the Eagles have to start looking like a team that is better run than other teams around the league.
Okay, so
they have to. So I don't think
blame?
Nick's the problem. But if they lose
Okay.
today, they're 2-3. They collapsed last year. At a certain point, someone has to be held responsible for that.
Okay, that's fine. How about the players being?
What are you going to cut? You're going to cut all 53
Well, no, you
players?
benched their ass.
Would you bench Jalen before you fire Nick?
You know what? I might.
But they're not going to.
Okay,
So-
but you asked me what I would do.
No, I know, but I'm saying that why I don't think Nick's the problem. If they lose today, sooner or later we have to stop talking about them like there's some great team, like they're better than the Jets, and they're better. That's the only
Everybody
thing I'm saying.
blames him for everything. Yet Kellen
Well, he
Moore's
is the head
calling the
coach.
play. Okay, he's the head coach. That's
Well,
right.
it matters a little bit when you're talking about who to blame.
And they won't do anything if they do anything until the end of the season. Okay,
you're not firing the coach during the season.
I agree, but if they lose, we all know what Monday is going to be like.
Well, yeah.
Because there's a bunch of nitwits out there,
All right.
including some of the guys. that are on the other-
WIP. Yep. Sure, he'll get started at 10.
There's no question. I mean, everyone knows that. Howard, next 4 games, I think it defines the season. How many wins are they going to have? Browns, at the Giants, at the Bengals, home for the Jaguars, who, by the way, last time I looked, down 35-10 in London to the Bears.
That's disgraceful.
How many wins next 4
they're going to
games?
win the Jaguars at the back end of that.
Okay, they're going to win today.
Okay. I think they'll win the Giants, although it could be tough. And
lose Cincinnati?
Yeah, Cincinnati can score some points.
Yep.
Yeah, lose it.
So there's no way we're slowing down Jamar Chase.
So what are we talking about?
3-1?
Well, wait a minute.
2-2 or 3-1?
2 and yeah, they win that. Counting this game,
They
right?
win the next 2.
Yeah.
Right. So you're 4-2.
You win the next 2.
Bengals
you lose
4-3.
Cincinnati, and then you beat the Jaguars.
And you beat the Jags.
So
Yeah,
that'd be
5-3.
I would take 3-1 the next 4. Sign
I
me
would
up
too.
right
Hell
now.
yeah.
Yeah, but look at the rest of the conference. The rest of the conference is brutal too.
I don't know about
Howard, that.
The
Yeah.
Commanders have 4 wins, and they're averaging 30 points a game.
Yeah, I don't get. Well, they have a.
That's
better,
a good team,
they
Howard.
might have a better quarterback.
Their quarterback
They
look,
certainly
he
might.
looked bona fide.
Yeah.
So a little.
Well, you know, I'll be happy to see their owner on the sidelines
Oh,
of that
yeah.
other team.
Awesome.
While
Is he
these
gonna show up here for that game?
nitwits are supporting the team he owns here. Joke.
Were you talking about Josh Harris?
Yes.
Of course
Who
he
else
is.
would I be
Yeah.
talking
So
about?
a bit of breaking news from in the stadium.
Uh-oh.
Nick Sirianni has shaved his head. He's completely bald.
With a little G.I. Jane on him, huh?
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Yeah.
Oh, I got to find the damn photo
Hold
now.
on. Does
It's
that
got to
make
be
us-
out there
Does that
somewhere.
make us more or less confident in the Eagles?
That does not make me more confident.
I mean, wait,
Hold on. Did he do it for?
Maybe it's for something.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
maybe
probably,
for cancer.
yeah.
Yes,
But
I'm
yeah,
not going to even say anything.
It's completely bald. Yeah.
I
So
mean-
look, a vibe change. You needed a vibe change. There we go.
I mean, 3 of our panelists up here have shaved their heads.
It's a
2 have
point.
good hair. I
It's
mean,
it's a football guy move.
that's right. I mean, Sirianni moving towards our side of this. Howard, give us a prediction for today. What are you feeling on this game?
Wow. 24.
I got to hear the how close it is. That gives me a sense how confident you are.
24-17.
He picked that out of my brain.
That's not going to make me
that's
feel
not,
good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not.
No.
That's not.
How will
they
you
sh-
feel after that?
They should beat
I
this
won't
team
feel
by
good.
10 plus points.
Yeah, they should. I mean, I could say they're going to win 31-10, but that would be foolish. That would be like the rest.
Or
of
if you believed it.
But
No,
it
I don't
shouldn't be.
believe
The
it.
Browns are one of the worst teams in the league. I mean,
I'm like, yeah, if you
defensively,
believe it.
they're not.
yeah,
bad.
defensively they're decent.
So what does that say about the Eagles?
Exactly.
They're going to win the game. I
Yeah, but
guarantee.
today's
you.
got to be a
I don't know if I'm laying the points yet.
I'm not laying the points. I'm not laying
But today should be a style points game, Howard. It should be.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
There's no way. So when we say style points, I mean, what does this need to look like?
Some
No
efficient-
turnovers.
Yeah,
No turnovers for sure.
That's to me, that's the biggest thing.
It has to look better than it has for the last year.
You know what?
Oh,
And
my
since
God,
they
Eliot.
worked on tackling this
true.
week, they've got
It's
to
true.
be able to tackle somebody.
Yeah, we can't have a bunch of missed
And-
tackles.
And no play Slay has got to play up.
So
on
we
people.
expect.
Why you on Slay? Slay? Why you on
It's the whole.
Slay?
It's the Dallas thing.
It's the Cowboys Parsons podcast thing.
Yeah, it's the Parsons.
Yeah,
thing.
do it after the season.
Maybe
Come
more
on, dude.
plays on the field, less podcast.
Listen, we all forgave you for being a damn Cowboys fan.
That was a Jimmy Johnson.
And he's a Micah Parsons fan.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, but I wasn't during the season.
That's
Of course you weren't. What do you
Didn't I see a
mean?
clip of you wearing a Cowboys
yes.
jacket kicking?
The Eagles had Rich Kotite, so I was busting these people's chops.
The
And
Eagles
it
have
worked,
Bryce
Howard.
Huff, yeah.
3 decades later, we're still bringing it up. All right,
Yeah.
coming up next,
Morons.
Merrill's Keys, the Eagles Radio Network,
Gotta win the
presented
turnover
by
battle.
always Howard, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
People ask, is PNC just a boring bank? Well, that depends. Is starting a business boring, or being the first person in your family to go to college? For nearly 160 years, they've done the hard and occasionally boring work of banking to deliver brilliant results for their clients. To see what boring banking can do for you, stop into any of their local branches right here in the greater Philadelphia community. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association member FDIC. Hey, Eagles fans, this is Merrill Reese. Phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon in Philly's got you. Trade in any phone from one of their top brands in any condition, guaranteed, and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with unlimited ultimate. Switch now and save. Available at a Philly area Verizon store.
Know what's below, because even minor excavation projects like installing a mailbox, building a patio, or putting up a fence can do major damage. Contact 811 before you dig, or visit pa1call.org to submit a locate request to have underground utilities marked.
Dear Spotlight, Toyota has more all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles than any other brand. Find your perfect ride, and you'll shine bright day or night. Toyota, let's go places.
Look at you. Your life is under control. Errands done. Groceries, got them. Be proud of yourself. It's time to give yourself a reward. You know you've been waiting all day for your favorite tasty cake treat, but which one? There's so many great choices. Is it the delicious crimpet or the mouth-watering candy cake? Maybe it's the tasty baked pie. No matter what you choose or where you are, it's always time for a tasty cake. So choose what feels right and enjoy. You've earned it, and you know you deserve it. Tasty cake, accept no substitutes.
Hi, it's Merrill. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa is here to help you distress after the game. Visit them to restore, relax, or refresh with a much-needed massage or facial for an introductory price starting at just $79.95. They offer an abundance of facial and massage services. Visit any one of their 60 spas in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or go to handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
Operating engineers are the men and women that move mountains. And the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, ELEC, puts them to work. They create opportunities for the men, women, and union signatory contractors of Local 825, repaving our roads, keeping our homes bright and warm, and even building our favorite team stadium. We understand infrastructure. That's why ELEC and Local 825 are ready to get to work.
We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. It begins with a game plan, preparing yourself for success on and off the field. Because when the lights are on, that's when preparation meets opportunity. And the best part about winning is winning as one. Build your tomorrow with Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
True Philly fans know that thirsty birds fly faster with Bird Gang Spirits. Bird Gang's starting lineup of bourbon, vodka, and tequilas are made for true Philly fans. The pre-gamers, the tailgaters, dieharders, and lifelongers. This year's limited edition release of Bird Gang commemorates the 75th anniversary of the Eagles' 1949 World Championship. Pick up a bottle at your liquor store today or order directly at BOTLD.com. Bird Gang Spirits. Go Birds! 2024 Bird Gang Spirit. Direct delivery available only to PA residents. Please drink responsibly.
This is Brandon Graham. Eagles football plays here. 94 WIP.
This is the Verizon pregame show on Eagles Radio.
Verizon, Hugh Douglas, Ike Reese, Eliot, Shorr-Parks. Hello. Joe Giglio with you, and joining us now from the booth as he gets ready to call a big one here on a beautiful day in Philadelphia is Merrill Reese. Merrill, how we doing?
Hi, guys. I'm great.
Well, hopefully we'll all be as great as you and feeling great around 4:15 today, Merrill, when the Eagles get a victory. And off a bye, it's a huge game, Merrill, for their season. This is the one. It feels like a pivot point. If they could get back on track today, healthy now, we're going to feel a lot better coming up this week.
I agree with everything you just said. It is a big game coming off the bye, and it's important to win this one. Nail it down. Don't make it one of these games that goes down to the final seconds. Just take care of business right away.
Merrill, let's get to your keys to the game. What are you thinking? How are the Eagles going to pull off a victory? What are the keys here?
Well, number one, and we just spoke about it actually, get off to a quick start. The Eagles are the only team in the NFL who has yet to score a first quarter point. This would do wonders for a team that needs an early lift.
Well,
Number two.
Yep, go ahead.
Number two, get the ball to Saquon Barkley early and often. This will open up things for number 6 and number 11, who should be ready to roll.
And number three, Merrill?
Yeah, here it goes. Number 3, and this is not a recording, but it could be, take the ball away. Don't give the ball away.
-6 after 4 games tells you all you need to know. I have a feeling, and this is just a feeling, that today, number 27, Quinyon Mitchell, will record his first NFL interception.
Well, that would be great. And Merrill, he's been close. I've liked the way he's
He has.
played the first 4 games. It feels like he's in position most of the time. It's just a matter of
got to catch it.
Yeah, turning those plays into real plays, splash plays. Merrill, the other one that you'll be able to see today, I think a lot of us are looking forward to. Sounds like we could be seeing some more playing time for Cooper DeJean in the secondary as well.
I think he's going to start. I think he's going to start. I really do. I think you're going to see a lot of Cooper DeJean.
Well, let's hopefully there's a couple splash plays out. The Eagles haven't had enough of those on defense. Merrill, we appreciate you hopping on, and we'll be listening to the call and hopefully a big Eagles win today. Thank you, Merrill.
Thank you, Joe. Have a great day.
There he goes. Merrill Reese, the voice of the Eagles. All right, let's talk about what Merrill brought up there in terms of the first quarter. Only team in the NFL, Eliot, to not have a first quarter point this season. And it's just so drastic to where they were with a lot of the same personnel. 2 years ago, Eliot, they jumped on every team. And I know the team isn't the same, obviously, but the quarterback's the same. The 2-star receivers are the same. The tight end is the same. A lot of the offensive line is the same as it was.
Yeah, they basically are the same team.
Offensively,
let's
right?
be real. They've only improved. They have Saquon now.
You're right about that. Now they've changed a couple spots on the O-line, the coordinators, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that they can't score in the first quarter.
So I think it's a couple things. One, I do think when you're consistently kicking the ball to start, you're just going to have less chances to score.
Less possession.
But that's not an excuse. The turnovers has been a problem, and I also think that the red zone execution has not been good. If you look early on in some of these games, they're going for it inside the 20 or even in the high red zone, if you want to say inside the 30, and they're not converting. So I'm not in the camp of take the points. I still think I would be aggressive on 4th down. But why they're not scoring, I don't think it is a coaching thing, to be completely honest. I think it's an execution thing by the players.
Hugh, what do you notice first quarter? Why are they having such trouble putting the ball in the end zone or just putting points on the board in the first quarter of games?
It looks like, to me, just watching the games, that it's a little disjointed. Like nobody really knows what they're trying to establish. That might be the first 15. It's kind of hard to say. Back in the day, and I hate to always go back in the day and talk about how it used to be, but we used to have plays scripted. And sometimes those plays were shocking all plays. They were plays designed to keep the defense off balance. And sometimes they were designed to get into the end zone quickly. I remember one play where Andy Reid would come out, and when T.O. was here, he would just throw the ball straight to T.O. for a touchdown. So it's one of those things where I don't really think that the Eagles are going into the first possession trying to establish anything. It just kind of feels that way. It just feels like they're just throwing stuff against the wall, hoping to see what's going to stick.
Well, and the other part of this, too, is we're talking about just scoring in the first quarter. They haven't had 10 points in the first quarter since week 1 of 2023, and 7 of those points came on defense. So while we all agree they need a lead today, they need to jump on the Browns, they need to make the Browns quit, they haven't done that to a team in, a year and a half, or at least 22 games or whatever it is. So maybe it will happen today, but I would be surprised.
Well, and your point, Eliot, is a good one. They do kick every time, or they defer every time, right? So they're probably going to have less possessions. But they did that in 22. But they were able to get off the field on defense, give the ball right back to their offense, and away they went. Eliot, you and Howard went back and forth a little while ago on if they're well coached or not, or the coaching situation. Today is a day you see how well coached they are. They're healthy. They had a bye. They had extra time to prepare for this game. The Browns should be tired comparatively on their 3rd straight road game. This is the kind of day where they should look good in the first quarter. That would tell me they're well coached and buttoned up. If they have 3 penalties in the first drive, it's like, what did you do during the bye?
Yeah, that's why I think Jeffrey Lurie is the most important person in this building today. What he thinks of how this team looks is critical. They're completely healthy. They're coming off a bye. They're playing a bad team. I don't think Nick Sirianni's to blame, much like I don't think Topper is to blame, but they're probably going to fire Topper because the results are the results. At the end of the day, it might not be Nick's fault, but he's had a year and a half to correct this problem. And if they come out today and don't look good, eventually someone has to pay for that. It's not going to be Jalen, at least in season. So you do wonder if they lose today or they don't look good, what Jeffrey is thinking about Nick with the head coach the rest of the year.
And Hugh, it's such a critical game because of what's to come here, right? We've talked about the schedule. This is the soft spot here.
Yeah.
This is where the wins are supposed to come starting today.
Yeah, and it's going to be one of those things where people are going to look at this game because it's been being said all week long. How do they come out? What do they look like? Everybody's healthy. There's no excuse in my mind for you not to put at least 28 to 30 points on the Cleveland Browns. But I think as a city, as an Eagles fan, we all kind of feel like we don't know if that's going to be the case. It should be the case, but we don't know what football team's going to come out and play.
And Joe, you bring up the schedule, right? Think about last year, that gauntlet they went through, the Bills, the Niners, the Cowboys, and what that did to their season. It's the exact opposite right now. Like, yes, they need to win the games, but it's also a chance to get momentum going. They lost those games last year, but what it really did was it completely annihilated any momentum they had. They started playing bad football. This schedule should not only allow them to stack up wins, it should allow them to start playing good football and get momentum going into the second half of the season.
Yeah, and you mentioned Topper a few seconds ago, just comparing Sirianni to Topper. They also have the weight of the city on their shoulders now. The Phillies are out. All of the emotion goes to the Eagles today. First quarter of this game, everyone's going to be going crazy when they're up 10-0, and if it's not, or it's the opposite, all that emotion's coming out the other way. The Eagles need a fast start today. There's no question. All right, on the other side, Eliot's 3 keys to the game. This is the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
The Nissan Rogue with available Google built-in helps you make the most of your drive. Take care of the small stuff, like,
hey, Google, cool down my car.
And,
hey, Google, turn on the dog feeder.
Or change up your adventure.
Hey, Google, navigate me to the nearest music venue.
Handle your drive like a pro.
Experience the ultimate connection in the new 2024 Nissan Rogue. Now get a low $289 per month lease for 36 months on Rogue. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Not equipped on all vehicles. Requires compatible device. Sequences shortened and simulated. Activation of Nissan Connect services package required. Only use features when safe and legal to do so. Data rates may apply. Subject to third-party service availability. Google, Google Play, and Google Maps are trademarks of Google LLC. Well-qualified lessees. 2024 Rogue S all-wheel drive. $47.79 initial payment excludes tax, title, and license. Disposition fee due at lease end. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. Ends 11/4/24.
Kick off game day the right way this season with Hers, the snack that's rooted in Philly. They've been a hometown favorite for nearly 8 decades and counting. So when you say their first team all flavor, you can taste it. Hers runs a deep roster of unbelievable flavors like zesty, sour cream and onion, sweet and smoky honey barbecue, and slightly spicy jalapeno kettle chips. So next Birds game, you can't help but go for 2. Bags, that is. Hers, rooted in flavor.
A strong lineup can make a good football team great. The stuff of champions. At Deborah Heart and Lung Center, our lineup is deep. Cardiologists to cardiothoracic surgeons, electrophysiology to heart failure specialists, and everywhere in between. Offense, defense, and special teams. That's why Deborah is one of the premier heart hospitals in the country, right here in South Jersey. Remember, when it's your heart, you don't take chances. DemandDeborah.org.
Hi, this is Howard Eskin to talk about Jack Daniels, tailgating, and the birds. It doesn't get any better, so stop by your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirit store and get game day ready with the original Jack Daniels Tennessee whiskey, along with Jack Daniels Fire, Honey, and Apple, or grab a case of Jack and Coke or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar, now ready to drink in a can. Also available at select grocers. Jack Daniels, born for the tailgate, and please drink responsibly.
Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV, Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels is 100% of registered trademarks of Jack Daniels Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Just like our offensive line protects our star quarterback, plumbers protect the health of the nation. And Philadelphia Plumbers Union Local 690 is no different. In hospitals, commercial, industrial, and residential, with the best trained plumbers in the world, you can be sure your project is done on time and on budget, no matter how big or small. So when your business needs to build new or expand existing facilities, you can count on the members of Plumbers Union Local 690. Visit plumbers690.org.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Offs, excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling if it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. and keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Talking Eagles Browns tomorrow on the morning show. Joe DeCamera and John Ritchie, 94 WIP.
You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, Eliot, Shorr-Parks, Joe Giglio with you as we lead you up to Merrill and Mike on the call. Eagles Browns. It is a big one today. All right, let's get to the keys to the game. Brought to you by United Tire for the best tire prices everywhere. Don't drive alone. Drive United with Eliot's 3 keys to the game.
3 keys with ESP.
All right, so number one, the Browns have a terrible offense, but they have the number 1 red zone offense in the NFL. They don't get there often, but when they do, they score. The Eagles, they do the bend, don't break defense. They'll let you get in there, and then they have a top 10 red zone defense. So today, the red zone defense has to be up to par because otherwise the Browns could actually score some points.
That's an interesting perspective, because that was really how they won the Week 1 game, right? The Packers would have gone out to a big lead in that game if it wasn't for the red zone defense. They held them in check. That one feels like that's the difference between a close game in the fourth quarter or the Eagles up 15
It's
or 14
also the difference between getting an early lead and falling behind 7-0.
Sure.
So number 2, keep Jalen's pocket clean. The Browns blitz the 7th most in the NFL. They have Myles Garrett. Jalen, when he has a clean pocket this year, has been pretty good. The turnovers have come when he has pressure on him and he's forced to make some decisions on the fly. Keep the pocket clean for Jalen.
Yeah, we're going to find out what Jim Schwartz thinks of where Jalen Hurts is against the blitz early on in this game, Hugh. I feel like they're coming after him.
Yeah, and he's probably looking at that Todd Bowles defense and the way that they played Jalen and how Jalen held onto the ball. The key is this. Like, not necessarily putting pressure on the quarterback, but just make him hold on to the football. Make him put doubt into his mind. And the unfortunate thing about Jalen the last couple of weeks, he's held the football a lot. So when he holds the football, that gives your defensive line opportunities and second chances, sometimes even third chances to get to the quarterback. So I think that he's probably going to see a lot of exotic stuff that Todd Bowles did. This is a copycat league, man. That's the one thing that even though analytics has jumped into the game a lot and everything, it's still a copycat league. And I'm pretty sure that Schwartz is going to show him a lot of exotic stuff, disguise coverages, and he's going to try to make him hold on to the ball as much as he possibly can.
Oh, yeah, he's getting blitzed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going up against this offense and you got these weapons to,
you ain't about to
try to stop you,
there.
you're not going to let Jalen just sit back there and throw the ball.
Especially they have injuries to safety. I think Rodney McLeod's starting today. Our old buddy's starting for the Browns at
Rodney
safety.
McLeod. Did Jordan come back? Jordan Hicks?
He's
with the Browns, right?
We had a guest on Countdown to Kickoff, and he said he was questionable. So we'll we'll find out. I'll look up if he's going to play if their inactives are out. But Rodney McLeod, our old buddy, is back in. He's going to start in this game. Eliot, what do you got for key number 3?
So this has to be a Jalen Carter game. Obviously, a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Carter also has to be great today. The Browns' offensive line has allowed 26 sacks in 5 games. Deshaun Watson holds onto the ball almost more than any other quarterback in the NFL, and the Browns are missing their starting center. Jalen Carter was drafted in the top 10 for games like this, to collapse the pocket up the middle, make the life easier on the edge rushers. This has to be a dominant Jalen Carter game like we saw him have against the Saints the last time he went up against a backup offensive lineman.
And he did it, right? The Saints center went out, Ike, in that game, and that felt like it changed the whole game early. The part about Carter that's so frustrating is we've seen it. He's had, 4 or 5 games since he got here last year. He totally dominates. And then there's a lot of games.
Shows you the flashes.
Yeah, but there are games where you forget he's there.
Yeah, I know. And I've talked about this as recently as after the Saints game, because when he has one of those types of games like he had against the Saints, everyone begins to just imagine what he could potentially be. And you're right. That's the potential. And when we talk about greatness and we talk about comparing him to some of the other great players, particularly that played here, like a Reggie White, when your name is being thrown in that category, Fletcher Cox, like those guys, and speaking Fletcher, especially early in his career, they showed up every week.
Yep.
They were game changers every week. Like they literally went out there, Hugh. And Hugh, I always say this. See, my Joe, your co-host he's humble, right? And when you talk about having a disrupting playmaker on your defensive line, we've had some guys like a Trent Cole, Jason Babin Flash for a year, Brandon, certainly showed us flashes.
Hassan a couple years ago.
Hassan for 1 year. We haven't had a premier rusher since this dude sitting to my right. Sometimes we forget how great Hugh Douglas was as a football player because we kind of get familiar with him because we see him every day. But when you're talking about an offense saying, where is this guy at every snap on the defensive line, we hadn't had one since Hugh Douglas, right? And so it's hard to find those premier type of players. Jalen Carter has all the potential in the world to be the best defensive player in football, but you got to do it every week, man. That's a desire to have. Like Big Fella knew he was getting double teamed and chipped on every other snap, and he still gave you double-digit sacks every year.
Back when he believed defense still mattered?
Back when he believed defense still mattered. But yeah, that's the type of player he was. And so Jalen Carter, you're going to get double-teamed, brother. I'm sorry. That comes with being a great player. You still have to figure out a way to be productive every week.
Hugh, is it coming with Carter? Because you've watched him more than any of us. You were in Atlanta, right, when he was at Georgia, and then you came up here and they drafted him right away. Is that consistency going to arrive with Jalen Carter?
It's hard to say because it's scary. Like going into a game, a player of his caliber, and the thing that he was when he was at Georgia, he was the best player at any time on the field. And so he would be at practice. I would hear stories about he wouldn't practice, and then they would make him mad, and then he would just kill everybody at practice.
He would just
destroy everybody at practice.
Like he got mad after the Falcon game because he got benched.
He got benched.
Yeah.
So he got mad. He got mad after that game, and he went out there and he was a game record. This is the thing with the NFL. You got to be that guy every week because the week that you decide to take it off, somebody coming gunning for you because everybody's trying to make a name for themselves in this league.
Yeah.
And you best believe when the offensive line coach turned that film on and he talked about Jalen Carter when he played against the Saints, when they were getting ready to play the Bucs, he talked about, this guy right here, da-da-da-da-da. Let's see if he can do it again. And that offensive line, this game is a pride thing.
Yeah.
Especially in them trenches.
You think Chris Jones doesn't get double teamed every week?
And he makes plays every week.
In them trenches.
The game every week.
In them trenches. And there's a certain amount of respect that is given to guys that go out there and do what they do. I had a chance to meet Chris Jones. And he's a monster. But he knows that, hey,
he shows up every week.
Hey, it don't go unless you go.
Yep.
And I don't think Jalen realizes that, man. And I don't think the young guys realize the impact that they have. You know, and it's something to be said about being a professional. You know, you can be a hell of an athlete, but it's something totally different to be a professional athlete.
Well, and the other part of this too is because Ike, you brought up Fletcher.
Yeah.
Fletcher used to collapse a pocket up the middle all the time. The Eagles have never paid an edge rusher